वालेकुम व्यूवर्स, कैसे हैं आप सब। आज मैं आपके सामने फिजिक्स PHY 101 के मोस्ट पीरियड MCQs लेकर आई हूँ मिड टर्म की तैयारी के लिए। क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 हमारे पास गिवन है, लाइट ईयर इज़ अ यूनिट ऑफ डिस्टेंस। अ फोर्स ऑफ 100 न्यूटन एक्ट्स अपॉन अ बॉडी फॉर 5 सेकेंड्स, व्हाट विल बी द लार्ज इन मोमेंटम। तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर है 500 न्यूटन सेकेंड। Add two vectors of length 4 meter and 5 meter, but their orientation is not known. The length after addition of these two vectors will be, तो between 9 meter and 1 meter, 9 और 1 के दरमियान होती है। Next example of physical quantity is length. An inelastic collision is one in which kinetic energy. Next है, acceleration in a body is always produced in the direction of velocity. Ali wants to lift a mass of 7.5 kg with constant velocity by a rope that passes through a frictionless pulley which is attached to the ceiling of room. Calculate the tension in the rope by neglecting the mass of the rope. तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर होगा 0.75 न्यूटन। एंड नेक्स्ट है, न्यूटन सेकेंड इज SI यूनिट ऑफ इम्पल्स। करेक्ट आंसर है इसका SI यूनिट क्या है, इम्पल्स का। The area under the curve of force displacement graph represent Fs. Next है, when you step on the accelerator to increase the speed of your car, the force that accelerates the car is friction. Next is the total momentum of a system is changing. And next external force must be acting on the system. Next, if the acceleration of a body is not uniform, then velocity time graph will be a curved line होगा। Next, the goal of all scientific inquiry is predicting natural events based. Work has dimensions like power. The work done by gravity during the descent of a projectile is positive. An object moves in a circle at constant speed. The work done by the centripetal force is 0 because the centripetal force is perpendicular to the velocity. The dimensional unit of ratio of work and power is T. A heavy particle moving with 5 meters per second suffer an elastic collision with a light particle at rest. After collision, the velocity of light particle will be 5 meters per second. Which of the following statement is true? One only. The law of inertia was firstly formulated by Galileo. The product of force and time is called change in momentum. It is easier to walk on the concrete road than on ice because the friction between the ice and the feet is less. What is the angle of projection of projectile for which its maximum height and horizontal range are equal? तो 76 है steric. Next, the SI standard of time is based on cesium. A net torque applied to a rigid object always tend to produce rotational equilibrium. Next है, an object attached to one end of spring makes 20 vibrations in 10 seconds. Its angular frequency is 2.0 radian per second. In simple harmonic motion, the restoring force must be proportional to the velocity displacement. Mercury is a convenient liquid to use in a barometer because it has a high density. The units of electric field are joule per meter. A farad is the same as a joule per velocity. We desire to make an LC circuit that oscillates at 100 Hz using an inductance of 2.5 Hz. We also need a capacitance of 100 microfarad. Next है, which of the following statement is not true about electromagnetic? तो the electromagnetic radiation from a burning candle is unpolarized. तो ये true नहीं है, false statement है। Next है, radio waves and light waves are electromagnetic and transverse both. दोनों हैं ये। Next है, Wien's law state that I max is equal to dash k. तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर है 2.90 asterisk 10-3 मीटर। Interference of light is evidence that Light is a wave phenomena. Fahrenheit and Kelvin scales agree numerically at a reading of -40. According to the theory of relativity, the correct answer है moving clocks run fast. Light from a stationary spaceship is observed, and then the spaceship moves directly away from the observer at high speed while still emitting the light. As a result, the light seen by the observer has lower frequency and a shorter wavelength than before. Next है क्वेश्चन नंबर 40 हमारे पास गिवन है how fast should you move away from 6.0 multiply 1014 hertz light source to observe waves with a frequency of 4 multiply 1014 hertz. तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर है 38C. नेक्स्ट है द क्वांटम नंबर ms is most closely associated with what property of electron in an atom. तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर है एनर्जी. As the wavelength of a wave is uniform medium increase, its speeds will remain the same. The lowest tone produced by a certain organ comes from 3-meter pipe with both ends open. If the speed of sound 340 meter per second, the frequency of this tone is approximately 57 Hz. To raise the pitch of a certain piano string, the piano tuner loosens the string. An object attached to one end of spring makes 20 vibrations in 10 seconds. Its angular frequency is 12.6 radian per second. For an object in equilibrium, the net torque acting on it vanishes only if each torque is calculated about the same point. Next, 10 seconds after an electric fan is turned on, the fan rotates at 300 radian per minute. Its average angular acceleration is 3.14 radian per second. Next है 4.0 minus n. Puck is traveling at 3 meter per second. It strikes a 8n puck which is stationary. The two pucks stick together. Their common final speed is 1.0 meter per second. An object moving in circle at constant speed has an acceleration of constant magnitude. Next, a plane traveling north at 200 meter per second turns and then travels south at 200 meter per second. The change in its velocity is 400 meter per second south. Next, at time t is equal to 0, a car has a velocity of 16 meter per second. It slows down with an acceleration given by minus 0.50 t in meter per second to 4 t in second. तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर है 8.0 सेकेंड. नेक्स्ट है 1 mi इज इक्विवेलेंट टू 1609 मीटर और सो 55 मीटर mph इज. तो इसका करेक्ट आंसर 25 मीटर पर सेकेंड. नेक्स्ट है द नंबर ऑफ सिग्निफिकेंट फिगर्स इन 0.00150 इज 3. नेक्स्ट है 1 revolution is the same as 2 pi radian. For a body to be in equilibrium under the combined action of several forces, any two of these forces must be balanced by a third force. Next है a bucket of water is pushed from left to right with increasing speed across a horizontal surface. Consider the pressure at 2 points at the same level in the water. तो इसका correct answer है it is higher at the point on the left. Next, an organ pipe with both ends open is 0.85 meter long. Assuming that the speed of sound is 340 meter per second, the frequency of the third harmonic of this pipe is 600 Hz. Capacitors C1 and C2 are connected in series. The equivalent capacitor is given by. इसका correct answer first option. Next है if the potential difference across a resistor is double, only the current is double. By using only two resistors R1 and R2, a student is able to obtain resistance of 3 ohms, 4 ohms, 12 ohms and 16 ohms. The value of R1 and R2 are in ohms 4 and 12. Correct answer है. Faraday's law states that an induced EMF is proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux. Next, our generator supplies 100 volt to the primary coil of transformer The primary has 50 turns and the secondary has 500 turns. The secondary voltage is 1000 volt. Which of the following electromagnetic radiations has photons with the greatest energy? तो इसका correct answer है X-rays. A visual image is one from which light rays diverge as they pass through. What is the unit of magnification factor? Magnification factor का unit नहीं होता, no unit. During an adiabatic process, an object does 100 joule of work and its temperature decreases by 5 K. During another process, it does 25 joule of work and its temperature decreases by 5 K. Its heat capacity for the second process is 15 joule per K. Kelvin यानी. An ideal gas expands into a vacuum in a rigid vessel. As a result, there is a change in entropy. The Stern-Gerlach experiment makes use of a strong non-uniform magnetic field. Next, a large collection of nuclei are undergoing alpha decay. The rate of decay at any instant is proportional to the number of undecayed nuclei present at that instant. Next statement given है तो उसका correct answer है 6.0 kg or m2 by second. A body will be in translation equilibrium if f is equal to 0. The fundamental dimension of angular momentum are ml 2t minus 1. The ultimate strength of a sample is the stress at which the sample breaks. Next, the law of inertia was firstly formulated by Newton. Sound waves are longitudinal. Next, one revolution is the same as 2n radian. A force of 100 n act upon a body for 5 seconds. What will be the change in momentum? 500 ns. The dot product of vector A with itself is equal to A cap 2. Next, swimming becomes possible because of third law of motion. Coulombs lies only true for point charges whose sizes are very small. If the force acting on a body is doubled, then the acceleration becomes double. The approximate value of g at an altitude above Earth equal to 1 Earth diameter is 1.1 meter per second 2. Young's modulus can be used to calculate the strain for stress that is well below the yield strength. The rate of change of momentum of a body is equal to applied force. Next, as the wavelength of a wave in a uniform medium increases, its frequency will be decreased. The momentum of an object at a given instant is independent of its acceleration. Next, work has dimensions like torque. The unit kg dot meter 2 per second can be used for angular momentum. People try to keep the dash over their feet in order to feel stable center of gravity. A dash factor is obtained by dividing the vector by its magnitude unit. Which of the following is not one of Piaget stage of development operational? Which of the following processes suggested by Bandura that help human behavior to learn? Observation. All of the following are the areas of interest for behaviorists except unconscious desires. इसके अलावा which of the following learning forms an association between two stimuli? Classical conditioning. Helmholtz explanation of color vision is called as what? Trichromatic theory. In which of the following process sensory receptors become less sensitive to repeated presentation of the same stimulus? Sensation. Fada is interesting to study about progressive change in individual's body and their functions throughout the lifespan. She is more likely to study biological changes. Next, all of the following are considered as the founders of Gestalt school of thought except Max Wertheimer. Which of the following is not a part of midbrain? Cerebrum. Which of the following processes suggested by Bandura that help human behavior to learn? Observation. Which of the following hormone is involved in growth and proper functioning of gonads and ovaries? So gonadotrophic. Which of the following are the branch-like structures that receive messages from other neurons? Dendrites. Who among the following talked about the cognitive maps? Tolman. Coherent sources of light mean they must have same frequency. The focal length of a spherical mirror is n times its radius of curvature, where n is 1/2, yani half. The torque about any 2 points has the same value when the body is in translational equilibrium. A light entering into glass prism from air does not give change in its frequency. The wavelength of red light is 700 Newton meter. Its frequency is, this one is correct answer. Bending of light around the edges of an obstacle called diffraction. If IO is the peak value of an AC supply, then its RMS value is given as LRMS. ये correct option है IO/2. The total energy in an LC circuit, if L is equal to 25 mAh, the maximum current is 20 mA. A source of frequency 500 Hz emits waves of wavelength 0.4 meter. How long does the wave take to travel 600 meter? The correct answer is 3s, 3 seconds. The center of mass of uniform disk of radius r is located at the center. Coulomb's law is only true for point charges whose sizes are large. आज का हमारा लेक्चर बस यहीं तक था. आपने अच्छे से तैयारी करनी है. उम्मीद है मिड टर्म के काफ़ी हद तक ऑब्जेक्टिव इस फाइल से आएंगे. ओके, अल्लाह हाफिज़.